All right, happy Wednesday morning to you all. Happy, it's a relative term. I'm on this side of the dirt, so it's not all bad, but things have been a little crazy the last couple days. More complications have befallen my circumstance. We had some power problems at the house during the hurricane a couple weeks ago, but we thought that they had been mostly resolved, with the exception of my downstairs AC unit blowing up. And I mean, that compressor is just totally shot. It gave up in a pretty bad way. It was blowing the mains circuit, which, how the hell is that possible if it's a 60 amp and it's on a 150 amp circuit? Every time it would blow the 60 and the 150 main input. Anyway, we just left that off, and we've been living with one AC unit, struggling and limping along. But Monday night, I came here, dropped off the Navi right there where my last vlog ended, and it sat there for the last 2 days, and I just put it in the garage and swapped for this because this is coming. It's going to be rainy the next several days. Anywho, Monday night, late, 11 p.m., I finished working downtown on a big job that we've been doing for several weeks, and my son called me about 10:30 or something and said the power went off at the house. I'm like, oh crap. So I walked him through resetting breakers and stuff like that. No joy, nothing came back on. I'm like, oh no. And I got home about 11:30. I had him come get me because I couldn't ride home in the rain. It had been raining all day. Get home, I start troubleshooting that crap in the dark and the wet, and come to find out I've got a dead leg coming from Centerpoint. Here's where all the shit goes off the rails. So according to all the documentation out there, Centerpoint is only responsible for the line leading up to your house. Where it enters your house, that's where your liability begins. It's the homeowner's responsibility to maintain wiring or do repairs or whatever. Okay, well, apparently there's a quiet little loophole in that for neighborhoods like mine, where you have transmission poles, telephone poles behind the houses and all that. That stuff comes down off of the pole, and that's called the weatherhead. And that goes to a transformer or a tap that's sitting down at ground level. From the tap, it goes underground to all the houses, however far that is to the nearest tap. Well, in my case, that tap is like 150 yards away, or at least 100 and something yards away. Haven't measured it yet. In one of the neighbors' yards, like a couple houses down or something like that. So Centerpoint says that the underground portion after the tap is the homeowner's responsibility. So the problem has been determined to be in that underground run between the transformer, tap, whatever you want to call it, to the meter. Figure it out, dipshit. So yeah, I had always understood that they, once it got to the meter, anything past the meter, that's the homeowner's responsibility. Apparently not. So, unfortunately now, we're going to have to work with electricians. They will issue a temporary disconnect from Centerpoint, so the tap can be de-energized at that transformer before the underground run starts. They have to pull... Wake up, you assholes. They'll have to run new copper all the way over to my house, bring it up to the meter post, and then I have to, all that's got to go through the permitting process because it crosses property lines and all that, and then issue an order for reconnect, and then Centerpoint comes out and hooks up new service. So this is about a $15,000 or $20,000 job. Yikes. The estimates that I'm getting right now are about $150 per installed foot, roughly. Once all the labor and the materials and all the stuff are factored in, I'm being told it's like $150 an installed foot, and maybe more. So at the distance that I'm guesstimating, I don't know what the actual run is. That's not something that most people know. It's definitely not in all the deeds and the little fine print and stuff like that. You got to pull that up from city information because it's not really normally part of a homeowner's responsibility Anyway, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm living without AC, and half of the house was dead until this morning. I got into the panels and jumped over all of the 120 volt stuff that was on the dead bus and moved the breakers over to the live bus, and I've got everything in the house, all the small loads running now, except for one GFCI circuit. It's a 20 amp circuit. I have no idea why it's not coming up. So the house is energized again after 2 days, but we don't have AC, so I'm gonna have to go buy air conditioning units, window units or something, just so we can survive in this Houston heat for the next couple, 3 weeks, whatever it takes to get through all the permitting and the contractors and all that. And I still don't know where we're going to come up with the money for that. I have no clue, because I don't have 15 or 20 grand burning a hole in the bank anywhere. I'm fucked. We're fucked. Everybody's riding my fucked bus up shit creek right now. We don't have paddles or wetsuits, so there's no bailing out at this point. Just have to float and wait. I tell you, man, I just cannot catch a break. The daily ball pounding and nut kicks and scrotum scraping just does not stop. Nice parking. Anyway, I'm stopping here to pick up a check that's been waiting for a few days apparently, and then try to get home before the rain starts. It's coming. Alright, back home to see what other deck chairs on the Titanic I can reorganize. Shuffle them so they stay dry a little bit longer before the deluge and their ultimate demise. Big hole. Yep, that rain's a-coming. Oh man, yeah, so work has been picking up. I've been busier over the last 6-8 weeks, which is a good thing. It's very much needed. But the problem is the lag on getting paid on a lot of these things is so far out that if you've lost momentum on the work and, you know, the cash flow, there's the ripples, you know, waiting on high-low cash flow. Newark, New Jersey. No, you can't get through to me. Sorry. I don't know anybody in New Jersey. I'm sure it's a spam call. Yeah. So anyway, my cash flow has been a roller coaster ride for quite a while now. You know, at least 7 or 8 months since the motorcycle wreck back in October. It was a little bit up and down before then, you know, because I had taken off for the Cannonball, but I had at least worked myself up ahead and had a little bit of a cash cushion to smooth things over. But man, since that point I have been living a daily shit show, and it's being slung with shovels, not spoons. I said no. I will take that one actually. TXIPI. That's a customer out here. I should have gotten up on the highway, but that's a customer out here on the that side of town. I'll stop and talk to them real quick before I get on the road, because I might end up actually stopping at their office if they're having some kind of a problem. All right, people, break it up. Jesus H. Let's see what they have to say. If I can stop and work, that's great. I'm not dressed very well for it, but I'll talk to him at least. Wearing my holy jeans because I'm outside working on the electrical panel. Oh yeah, and I was doing all that work on the electrical panel standing in the rain. That's a great idea. Wet marshy grass, nice grounding point, and I'm working with 240, 200 amp mains. Good shit, man. Nothing like a little pucker factor to liven up your day. And we don't have disconnects on those meters, so you know it's live at the top of the panel no matter what I do. Even if I kill the main breaker, that means the stuff coming in is live. Crazy.
Dude, could you please hold?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ah, Jesus Christ. The best hold music on the planet. Overmodulated, saturated, electronic tune on repeat. As I sharpen my sword for seppuku. Come on! I'm gonna give him one more minute and then I'm hanging up. No.
Texas Interventional, how may I help you?
Hi, this is Aaron, the computer guy. I just missed a call from you.
Oh, okay. Let me see who's calling. Just a second.
Oh, I'm sweating. Let's go. And that rain is coming. It's getting closer by the minute. Sweat is running into my eyes. Okay, I'm done. I'm nice, but I ain't that nice. They can wait. Oh, I can't do it. Cannot do it. Turn off, you bitch. Get on the clip. Thank you. Alright, I'm leaving. I'm going. Holy hell, it's hot. Yep, I'm done. Cooked. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I can't go. I can go. Man, it's hot. Great. Whoa, he lost a whole axle? No, he's just jacked up. He's lost tires, I guess. But he's not attached to his toe. Getting gusty out here. The rain is not far away. So anyway, I rewired my panel to bypass the dead bus. Leg 2 is what I'm calling it, because it's the lower one, but it's actually the left leg in the panel that's down. The right leg is good, so none of my 240 appliances are working, and unfortunately the great predominance of all the 120 circuits were also on that left side. So anyway, I moved them all over, you know, the ones that I need over to the right side bus. That's okay. I'm getting 120 steady on that one, so I'm good for now anyway. And I just turned off all the circuits that are on that dead bus. That way they're not trying to pull power across. And it's not totally dead. It's getting, it depends on how I measure it. With no load, the main breaker shut off, testing the leg to neutral, I'm getting like 54 volts roughly, but sometimes when I test it, it shows as low as like 10 volts. So I don't know. If I put an RMS meter across both legs, it's showing like 170 volts total, so yeah, roughly 50 volts maybe on that dead leg, so it ain't good. So I moved the stuff over that I need, you know, lights and other basic stuff that will keep us in some kind of a civilized home. But no air conditioning until I buy some window units. But the real problem next is the window units are going to have dedicated circuits run to them, and I don't have a lot more room on that panel. So I'm not sure what I'll do there. I'll probably run 2 temporary circuits along the back of the house. I've got a conduit bender. I don't have any EMT, but I do have a bunch of THHN in the warehouse, so I can bring that stuff home and string new circuits and just put them up temporarily. The bedrooms in that house are all wired on one circuit, and I mean every wall outlet, perimeter outlet in those bedrooms are all sharing one 20 amp circuit. Can you believe that crap? I mean, come on. Who wired that? They were seriously cutting corners and cutting costs. It's ridiculous. So I can't put a couple of window units on that same circuit or they're going to blow the circuit repeatedly. They're just not going to support it. I mean, each window unit, say 8,000 BTU, is going to pull 1,200, 1,100, 1,200 watts, something like that. So yeah, 1,800 watts, you're saturating a 15 amp circuit breaker. It's a very pink container. So I was editing and publishing a video that I put out, the previous one from a ride vlog a couple days ago, late last week or something like that. And I missed the date in the beginning of it. I put the wrong date in there. I thought that I had typed a 0, I think it was. Yeah, I thought it was a 0, and I typed a 6, so it said July 26th instead of July 20th. And everybody's, dickhead, stay one fucking lane. Everybody's going, oh, is this from the future? The date's wrong. Whoops. That's what happens with frequent power outage. The guy's still in the 2 lanes. What an asshole. Get off your phone. You're driving an 18-wheeler, you shit. That's what happens with multiple power outages and no air conditioning and a baked brain. You make minor little date mistakes. Why don't you pass it for me, buddy? Figure it out, dumb shit. No, I'm not going to talk to you this time. You can just wait. I have to go home and change clothes before I can go over there anyway. I was worried that the Navy might not be there at the warehouse when I got there. It's been sitting on that step for 3 days. Well, 2.5. Starting to get a lot of interesting people in that neighborhood now. Those apartments haven't even opened up yet. I mean, we got the crappy low rent apartments just right next to the warehouse on the north side of it on Long Point, but the big complex that's still being built, I can't imagine the traffic and the chaos that's going to ensue around that area after that opens. It's unfortunate but true that crime always goes up around apartment complexes. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. We've already had a lot of stuff getting stolen in the parking lot there at the warehouse. I don't think I've heard any cars getting broken into, but there have been other things go missing around the complex just lately. They don't come in at night because the gates are closed, you know, unless they're popping the fences or whatever, but they just drive in and out of the parking lot before the gates close, I suppose, late in the evenings. Probably 6 to 7 o'clock is their target time. So the landlord has been beefing up the video security for the complex and considering changing the gate closure time. Life's getting tough all over. World's getting crazier. Money's tight, so people start doing more crime to survive, stay alive. Of course, most of the ones doing the real crime don't resort to, you know, they can't blame it off on economy. They just do the crime because that's their lifestyle. But even upstanding people can get forced into strange circumstances. I don't think I'd ever go that far. If I ever decided to turn to a life of crime, I'd follow the elite's plan of, if you're gonna steal, steal big. As long as it's a big enough heist, or if you got enough influence around you to cover it, then it's just good business, you know. Steal millions, billions, you get away with it. Pay the monetary penalty and a little bit of public embarrassment, 12 months in jail, something like that, even which is rare for celebrities and people in the big club. Then they get out and they still have all the money that they stole. That's fucked up, man. Or if they're Epsteined or whatever before they serve their term, then their family still has the money. It's all a shell game. Smoke and mirrors, misdirection. Oh, God, it's hot. And it's going to get hotter because the temperature is still rising today and it's going to rain. So the house is just going to be a sauna. As long as the cloud covers out, it's not unbearable. It's uncomfortable, definitely uncomfortable at, you know, mid to high 80s with 90% humidity. You know, you're sweating your balls off, but you can put a fan in front of you and kind of survive it a bit. But once the sun comes out and the temp in the house rises to 100 plus the high humidity, no, it's not tenable. Gotta go somewhere else. And I've got a 7-year-old at home and a teenager with one leg, so can't really go mall hopping and wasting time there for more reasons than one. I can't go spending that money, and it's hard to cart them around everywhere, so figure it out. And then, of course, there's all the social and emotional fallout from this nonsense. Being tight on money and can't afford to just buy my way out of the problem. Wife is talking about she doesn't want to live there anymore. She wants to move, and you know, what am I going to do? If I'm out of money already, how the hell am I going to move somewhere? I don't know. Swimming up shit creek. No wetsuit, no snorkel, no goggles. Shopping around for window units, decent, you know, as far as output and power consumption and all that. Find a, you know, the newer inverter style variable speed compressor, all that good stuff. I found some from, I think you pronounce the brand Midea, M-I-D-E-A, Midea. They've become a pretty popular Chinese brand, I guess they are. Yeah, just wait 3 fucking seconds, you jack off. They're available on Amazon and Best Buy and, you know, a lot of different places. They're even selling them at Sam's Club, so I guess it's a decent brand. So I guess I need to order a couple of those just to tide us over, get at least 2 bedrooms in the house survivable for the next couple of weeks. The smaller ones are about $379, I think, something like that, and the bigger one that I would have to put in the master bedroom because it's larger is 500 and change, 569, something like that. So yeah, it's another $1,000 or $1,200 I don't have. Trying to shake those money trees, see what falls out. Fortunately, the only thing falling out of the trees right now are monkeys, and they're jumping on my back. More load to carry. Anywho, I'm home. Hey, the yard guys made it. More money that I don't have. Fuck. Ah, the fun, the fun, the fun. Who wants to trade places, huh? Who wants to trade places? Hey. Yeah, well, I made it. Gotta clean all this up now. Had my generator out here to tide me over. It's hiding in front of the cub. But the generator is only a 120 volt unit. It will not power the ACs and all that. Not to mention I don't want that thing running, making noise, and burning gas constantly. That's not efficient. I pay enough for electricity. Paying for that thing running nonstop to run air conditioners, yeah, I'd go broke in a week. So anyway, catch y'all later.